Right then guys, so I'm going to order off today. Today is Banoffee. Now, I had all sorts of plans for this season, fishing wise, and I'm not sure on what to do now, to be perfectly honest with you. I've got a couple of venues. I've got a couple of venues that I'm interested in doing, but the downside to that is I've got more than one. So now I'm just stuck really, and I've got no photos really to go on apart from past experience really of fish that I've, again, it's fish I've heard about. It's someone's got to be shot in the head this with fish I've heard about, and I only go after fish that I've seen evidence of. Now the people that are telling me, don't get me wrong, I believe them, but until I like to see photos of the fish I'm going to be chasing. Hence the reason that I've not, beautiful. Hence the reason that I've not really done much yet, to be honest. Right. So it's Banoffee, this one, and it's with my own flavour. Got my own flavour nowadays for Banoffee. It's a really nice flavour as well. Nice and concentrated. So we'll go with that. And then we'll go in with a bit of the old amino, which goes into every single bit I roll now, because it's unbelievable, but you can overdo it with it. So don't go putting too much in. If you do actually use amino, don't overdo it with it. You can overdo it with it. It's something that I've noticed before that with you. I've been using it a long time now, and I do think you can overdo it with it. Now I want these white, so we're gonna go with. There's not much left in there, so bang that in with that, and then also a dropper, the other thing I add into every bait I do. But the best thing to do is first is to beat the colour and beat the colour and the powders into your egg before you add the butyric acid, because I've noticed that it kind of, I've said it before on a few other stuff I've done, I've noticed it almost kind of cooks it a little bit, and I only use the minutest drop, alright, minute drop of it. Again, I'm convinced that it alters pH. You've only got to put it in water and with a pH meter and test it, and you'll see that the butyric acid alters the pH of water. So I think that's one of the main factors in it being doing so well. Right then, and then to that now, because it's a cold dust, it's a wafter mix I've got there. I'm going to add cold dust. And then that means that they're going to come out pop-ups. So we have to coat dust into that there. Now we go in with the pop-up mix. $16mm, favourite size bait now. Well, it always has been, to be perfectly honest with you. 16s and 14s are definitely, as far as I'm concerned, best size baits. Especially if you can. The reason that I'm using this wafter mix for pop-ups is because it's just I've got so much better at rolling bait with it in this way, pop-up wise, and believe me, honestly, ask anyone that's had pop-ups off me, and they will tell you that the pop-ups, they popped up for a hell of a long time. I mean, Paul were on about that he'd had one in a tank for near enough a week, and then he just get up and took it out. So I've done pretty much the same myself before a few times. So they do last a long time out there in water, and then it's the coke that's in them. Even before I started adding that, it's mainline flavour is by far the best one for pop-ups. I don't care what anyone says, and you'd be hard pushed to beat mainline when it comes to pop-up mix. I have had a few other ones that have been alright, but what you find with them is, it's strange, but what you'll find is you'll put them in sausage gun, and when they come out of sausage gun, they will come out around about, if it's a 16mm bait, then it'll probably come out around about 18mm, and then you just have trouble rolling them. It's the only problem really that you've got with using them different pop-up mixers. Now that's pretty much ideal, that now. What it's done is we've cleaned the bowl, got all excess out of the bowl, and now we just backwards and forwards with it, picking any up that we've dropped, backwards and forwards. It's a little bit sticky, so again we just round the outside of it and then back it on itself. Really just trying to distribute that coke dust the best we can. Now that's ideal, perfect. So out of this, big eggs, we will get 2 small tubs of 16mm baits, which I think there's 35 in each tub, so around about 35 in each tub that I do. So it's, every time I roll these, they end up going. So it's an hard one, but Banoffee's a really hard bait. Banoffee and the pineapple, really hard baits to hold onto. It seems every time I roll them, they end up gone. So we're back with a cheap gun again. So I'm just wanting you really to know that you don't need really be a gun, you know, to roll bait. I had a few questions asked me over this, and you don't. And even if you were rolling them by hand, I would still recommend that you get a sausage gun, 100%. So I think that's maybe it, isn't it? I think that's it. I'll try that. I think that's it, I'm not sure though. So we get all the excess air out and then on it. Now that feels a little bit wet out to me, so that's not great. So what we do is we come through with a gun, and we just put that to one side, the gun on. And then, that's it guys, that's it. Right, so we do now, take this out to one side, all pop up stuff, and take acids and all that. And then just out onto table really. Now I never do them full length at table. I don't know why, I just never have. And they come out lovely and white, and exactly how I want them. I found Banoffee to be great if you fish it with a bread stick, PVA stick with bleach bread. Really nice bit. Look a bit of receipt. I'll just let rip there. Do really well with a little mashed up bread with a Banoffee up there. They do really well. Right, and then again, we're going to go in with pop-up mix. which I've had a few people message me and say, is there anything else you could use? Answer to that, in my opinion, no. You could use something else, but I've tried all sorts, and for a little bit you use, you're better off just going with pop-up mix. Now hopefully, yes, perfect, beautiful baits, absolutely beautiful. Now they've come out absolutely lovely, they have. Now these are going to be getting used, hopefully. I can't get myself into gear, like I was saying. It's I'm in two minds whether to drop back on Rother Valley, or Boating Lake at top end of Rother Valley. I don't know what to do yet, to be honest with you. I don't know. Or Treaton. I might drop onto Treaton and do a bit down there. I don't know yet. It's just the fish that are coming out of Treaton, they're nice, really nice. And there's a few I haven't had that thing's been putting on, but the hell of a lot I have had. And it starts to make me question how long you can go on a place before it starts to become a bit cruel, like, you know what I mean? Especially when you catch the same fish over and over, it just doesn't seem right in my eyes. So hence the reason for that. These have come out, these are I think these are about a 14, these. Put wrong nozzle on, but they'll be right. You've got coat dust in, they'll be lovely and buoyant. Come out pure white, lovely. So we do one more sausage, and then we'll drop them. In. Really have come out nice, them guys. So, like all the bait I roll, there's normally a spare tub of these, if anybody's after any, that is. Just get them off there. And we'll go in with them. Now I've been rolling my pop-ups a lot drier than I used to do, and it was hard at the beginning to get a feel for it, but now I've pretty much got it banged to rights, and it's definitely the way to go is doing it a little bit drier than overly soft, because if it's just a little bit soft, what you'll do is you'll get flat sides to your bait, and it's not what you really want. They're lovely, then I tell you what, they would absolutely be devastating untreated. But we'll see how them Rother Valley Corp feel about them again, because unless people have been feeding Banoffee on there, if anyone's done the research, then surely to God they know that Banoffee is the bait on there. That's definite. Nah, beautiful baits, absolutely stunning. Really happy with them. So that's not hot enough yet, so we get that out of the way for the time being. And then we just come back to this little bit we've got here. Now what we want to do with this is just roll it out by hand to round about. That's the other thing, guys. Since I've only just started wearing glasses, so, and obviously the distance glasses, so they're the lowest strength glasses you can get, but it's still really hard for me to judge pop-ups with glasses on when I'm not, because I'm not used to them. It's really difficult to do it. So let's see what this comes out like. Yeah, they seem to. You are lovely, beautiful. They'll do me fine. They'll do me just fine. Just found that little bit of plastic that went missing in that last one. So we put them two back on because they're a piece of plastic, but I noticed in them. So put them two back on and then just re-roll them backwards and forwards. Back off to it, but perfect. And then we've just got that bit there, which it might even, yeah, it will be. You might get a couple of more pop-ups out of that, actually, to be honest with you. 3 even. Yep, 3. So they'll do. Just a case now, wait for this to hurry up and boil. And it's a 2-minute boil as always. And boil them off at a time as well. I was boiling far too many in one go at one point, and it was just affecting the shape of them. So that's them done, guys. 2-minute boil. And probably after that, I'm probably going to end up with 2 tubs. And because the super buoyant pop-ups, these, it's one pop-up pretty much. I'll leave one pop-up on until I've had a fish. I would only change the pop-up if the pop-up I was using weren't buoyant. I don't think there's any need to change the pop-ups I do. If anything, being a little bit washed out gives them extra attraction. They look like they've been on pond bottom longer, so I don't change them. I just put it back out. If I think it may need a little bit of a glug on a runs water that sees a lot of bait, then I will often just lug it, just put a glug on it. But there's no need to keep changing. Not the ones I do. They're a lot stronger smelling than the ones you're going to buy in the shop. So there's no need for it. So we've ended up with white 16 millers Banoffee coke dust ones. So they're going to be a super buoyant, and they're going to be really nice and be a nice bait them. So that's the other thing now, is really it's just thinking about, I mean, these are the other ones I've got there. Those ones are the pineapple and butyric acid and amino with a bit of wafters, them ones. They're wafters, they're cured. And then the other ones are all over there. These are the bloody pineapple and butyric acid. And then last off the block is the Banoffee that I needed for next place I'm going to be on, because like I said, every time I roll them they go. So, but these ones aren't. I'm not getting rid of them more. It's the other thing, that's what we're on about to, guys, is I ain't sure about where to go next. I'm going to do Ecclesfield, and then I'm definitely going to do Ecclesfield, there's no doubt about it. I'm definitely going to do it. I really like the idea of going back to a place that I fished as a kid and fishing it in the same manner as I did back then, you know, on float, and really I could be doing myself misjustice by doing that. I probably could have a lot more fish fishing on, say, a hinge rig or even a bottom bait or something like that, Ronnie, but it's just not same to me. It's Ecclesfield's, it's too small to be putting 3 rods out and fishing on big. To me, it's big. Anything over 2 rods, it's a big pit method. If you can't be fishing 3 rods on a pond that size. It just didn't seem right, if you ask me. It's far too small for 3 rods, in my opinion. So I'm going to go with, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you're fishing with 3 rods and you're doing well, carry on, but to me it's too small. Now there's another pond that I fished years ago in Rotherham, but I've not been back to it for years, and I've been thinking about that a fair bit and all. I've been thinking to going back down there and see, but I've got a funny feeling the club's going to have it now, because it had some nice fishing in it about 10-12 years ago. Had some nice fish in it, up to £25. Because I know that for definite, because I saw one come out of common. So I'm thinking of going back and checking that out. But so far I've got 4 ponds that I need to find out which one to focus on solely, because as far as I'm concerned now, it's game on. Once they finish spawning, it's game on, as far as I'm concerned.